So a lot of people say that we're going to experience another housing bubble. The real estate market might collapse, but why do you think that that's not going to happen?
Sure. I'm hearing that a lot. Thanks for asking. Yeah, and I'm going to give you three reasons. There's many more, but three key reasons why that's not the case. First, we're really looking at a supply issue like we hadn't seen in modern times. Housing supply is just extremely limited, not somewhat limited or temporarily limited. It's extremely limited. Uh, Number two, the demand for housing is real. It's not just a matter of people running out looking for a McMansion for a status symbol. People are actually in need of housing and can't get it. Number three is equity. Unlike historic in 2007, 2008, where people pulled $827 billion equity out and leveraged their houses up to the maximum peak value, we're in an opposite situation. Currently people have tremendous equity in their home. And, going back to the supply issue, that number one, we in '07, '08 had 11 months, almost a year's worth of supply on inventory waiting for people to buy them. So that means that if they stopped building houses, it would take 11 months at the '07 rates for all those houses to be bought up. That was excessive and ridiculous, and it was caused by loose lending procedures, not only for home buyers themselves, but for the builders who would go out and build 40, 50 houses at a time. Today's the opposite situation. It's so difficult to get financing. Builders are building one or two or three houses at a time, and there's 10 people looking to buy them. So instead of 11-month supply, we're in a situation here in Metro Atlanta in the desirable suburbs where we have about 1 month supply. So they cannot build, it takes more than a month to build those homes. There's just no way they can meet the demand, the current demand. So number two was the reality of the demand, right? That demand is not because people just want a new status symbol. We have more people coming out of college. We have more employed people. We have a lot of millennials that are ready to buy their second home and trading up. Our situation is that there's a very real shortage of housing. Our population has grown significantly over the last decade. However, in the last 4 or 5 years, new home construction has not kept up with it. So the demand is very real. And hence we see those inventory numbers have consistently dwindled. And of course it was exacerbated a little bit by the fact that over the COVID period, builders couldn't build. They couldn't get employees on the job sites. So that really slowed new construction. However, babies continued to be born. And so that just made the shortage on the supply side even worse. The third thing is equity. Huge difference here. Everyone's worried about foreclosures. We're in a situation now, instead of being leveraged to the max like we saw in '07, '08, we're looking at, according to the Census Bureau, 38 to 40% of homeowners have no mortgage whatsoever on their homes. That's a totally different situation. In fact, 60% of homeowners have at least 50% equity in their homes right now. So the risk of foreclosure is exceptionally low. For the people who lost their jobs, right, that's a very valid concern, right? We should be concerned about that. A lot of people took the special programs. Well, a couple things going on there. One, government is really stepping up big to counteract the effects of COVID economically and help people keep from losing their homes. But for the people who are in forbearance and can't come back out of it, even if those homes were to go to foreclosure, the dent that they would make in the housing shortage is insignificant compared to the shortage of homes. Another impacting issue is the fact that homes are not going to foreclosure because there's people standing in line running TV ads saying, we guarantee we'll give you cash for your house. So the likeliness of going to foreclosure is exceptionally low right now. It's very rare, and it happens in cases where the house itself has some significant flaw, serious mold issues, something that can't be remedied, where the cost to repair the house is bigger than the value of the house. And those are exceptionally rare. But the economic factors that would influence foreclosures, are virtually non-existent right now. I mean, these people have to advertise cash for your house because they can't find houses to buy and flip. They would love to give you 10% less for your house, 15% less for your house, but it's just not the case. And people have the equity, so foreclosures are really not going to be on the horizon in the foreseeable future, not in any significant levels. So how does this all affect you where you're at right now with your home? What's it worth? What can you get for your home? What would it cost to move to a smaller home? What would it cost to trade up into a bigger home or get a bigger piece of land to move a little bit further out from the city? Talk to an expert. Talk to someone who's watching these neighborhoods on a micro level. I'm here to help. The people at Bruce Bowe Homes would love to help you evaluate your personal situation and give you real world advice as to how we can best secure equity in your home and your personal finances for the future relative to real estate. So please give us a call, 678-761-5803. That'll go to a cell number. If you just want to text and get some quick answers, that's all good too. We're here to help. Thanks so much for listening and look forward to working with you to secure your home for the future.